Okay then, hi, it's Chris Watkin here, and I'm with Nyree Ewings, who's one of Australia's #1 female real estate agents, or as we like to call them, estate agents. What do you find is the difference between UK estate agency and Australian real estate agency? You've been at a conference today with lots of agents from both. Tell me.
I think the process itself and the outcomes are certainly, aligned and similar. We're all trying to help somebody move forward, to their next journey. So, certainly the process of listing a property, getting the property to market, and selling that property and getting it to that point is the similarities. I guess the difference is in how those processes work, and I guess the job description of what a real estate agency does in Australia versus what the agents handle here. Whether it's showings. I think sometimes you guys have people that do appointments for you.
Yep, viewings,
rather than actually the agent who's responsible for the sale. Whereas back home, we're more in the coal face, I guess. We sort of, we pull the sleeves up and we get in there a little bit more.
So how long have you been an estate agent then?
I've been in the industry for 17 years. And
so you started as a child then?
Yes, exactly, yes. Half my life now. In the industry 17 years and in sales 11.
Okay, so have you always been self-employed, or were you an employee and then went over?
So I was an employee for the first probably maybe about 18 months or 2 years, and then I had to just really back myself because you get a better percentage and you can earn more money if you take the risk on yourself.
Wasn't that a bit scary though, doing
Hugely frightening. Absolutely.
What fears did you have about making going from an employee to basically self-employed?
I guess the fear is not being enough, not doing enough, being conducive to market fluctuations, but, having to rise above that, always relearning the skills that are inside the industry, always bettering who you are because you've only got yourself to bet on, you've only got yourself to rely on in it.
Was it an advantage or disadvantage being a female in a predominantly male industry?
I would say probably in my 20s a disadvantage and in my 30s an advantage.
Why is that?
I think the disadvantage was I was probably seen as too young and probably should have just been somebody else's associate or receptionist somewhere. And I think that in my 30s, you tend to start owning who you are, and you know who you are, and you stop apologising for that. And I think that when you can sort of be aligned and have your business and your life aligned as well, you can really just excel and move forward.
Why have you been so successful and won all these awards?
I think it's because I care. I think there's a lot of personalisation in my business. It's a lot of face-to-face, and it's not only saying that you care, but it's actually demonstrating that through everything that you do.
I mean, has it been a hunky-dory journey all the way through?
Hell no.
Okay, what was your lowest point in being an estate agent?
I've had two major breakdowns. One of those was probably around 6 years ago, and probably one was probably around sort of 2.5 years ago. The one from 6 years ago, I hadn't given myself a break in over 3 years, so I began hating the industry, hating the job, and not wanting to be there, because I hadn't given myself the time, to repair and recharge.
How did that make you feel?
Scum of the earth, really.
Okay.
Really bad, yeah.
How did you get yourself back the first time?
I went away and totally disconnected, so I didn't even have a phone. I went out to a farm, basically, and just sort of, I guess, relearn just the normal skills of the normal life and that sort of stuff, which is, having more of a routine, more of a structured routine that normal people have, not estate agents.
But then you said you had a second one. How did that come about?
I think the second one was probably not as significant in terms of my physical or mental well-being as the first one, but the second one was just really questioning whether I wanted to do this anymore, whether
wanted to be an estate agent.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's
Why were you questioning that though?
Well, it wasn't a job, it was a career. It's a lifestyle. Back home, estate agents are punching 6.5, 7 days a week. We're available through to 9, 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night. If we've got to negotiate a sale, we're at the coalface again, sort of rolling those sleeves up every single time.
So how did you get past that second lump, hump in the road and move on?
I think really rediscovering what my purpose was, and re-questioning, my inner self as to why I was really doing it.
Why are you doing it? What motivates you as an agent?
It motivates me helping people. You know, that's the part that I actually get a thrill out of. You know, when somebody actually can genuinely, sincerely say to me, "Hey, Nyree, you really made a massive difference to our whole family. We're safe, we're happy, we're secure with the new home that we've bought, or you know, we're with the new one that we've gone to because you sold the last one."
Because you work on the self-employed model, so you've got a principal that you work underneath. What percentage of the fee do you have to give back to your principal?
So we work at a franchise model. So I work for a company called LJ Hooker in Australia. So of the 100% available commission that comes in, which is usually around say 25,000 for $1 million, or half that for $500,000 sale. When I sell more $500,000s than $1 millions, so of around that sort of 12.5 that comes in, 10% goes off to the brand name, so LJ Hooker, and then of that remaining 90%, depending on what split you've negotiated with, it can be 50-50, it can be 60-40.
And do you have anyone working underneath you, helping you, guiding you, and supporting you?
So I've got 2 people in my team, and they have changed over time. But Lyndall is my admin lady, so she's been with us for 2 years now, and she works Monday to Friday. So she's doing all the back end stuff. She's not face to face with clients, but she can still communicate with them.
She helps you and sorts you out.
Absolutely. So she supports me enormously, so that I'm not stuck in the office doing the paperwork. My job is to get more face to face and convert more business.
If you don't mind me asking, how much do you think you'll earn in the last 12 months?
The last 12 months has definitely had an adjustment down because the Australian market has had some effects.
I mean, a good estate agent in the UK will probably earn £50,000-60,000 a year, or that's probably $120,000.
Yeah. Don't worry about the conversions.
It's the Brits I worry about.
Sure. The average agent still back home though, and you know there's 55,000 agents I think there are in Australia. The average agent's still only earning 60 grand as well. But the good agents should be earning 6 figures. They should be earning 100 grand, 150 or 200 grand.
Because you're up there, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So what do you do in your marketing to attract the homeowners to your agency to get the higher fees and the more listings? Because I'm sure there's the Brits out there would love to know.
Yeah, sure. So I think you know that authenticity and that genuineness, but also the availability and the instant access to me all of the time. You know, so they actually don't have to go through the agency; they actually just reach me directly all of the time, and it's the accountability and the responsibility.
But surely working 18 hours a day, that's going to knock you out, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, and sometimes it's not always about being in the office and working; it's just about being available if somebody does call at 7 o'clock at night.
So why do you think people choose you, and why are you so successful? You get all these awards, and you are considered one of the leading female agents in Australia.
Again, I think it's about the authenticity. I think it's about having some tenacity, and I think it's about being really bloody resilient.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Cheers.